Okay, ITS, this is our 10-second countdown. If we still need to do that, here's your 10-second warning. Just going to get started. Welcome to Planning, Zoning, and Historical for Tuesday, July 6, 2021. Hannah's going to go ahead and mark the people present so we don't have to take roll. Is that correct?
If you could take roll.
Okay, now that we're back in person, I'm still forgetting what we're doing. So, Council Lady Allen. Here. Benedict. Bradford. Here. Cash. Here. Evans. Gamble. Hager. Hall. Chair Murphy's here. O'Connell. Parker. Rutherford. Stiles. Toombs. Van Reese. Welch. And Withers. Ms. Seitland, how many do I have?
14.
All right, we have 14 members present. I have 2 additions to the consent agenda. So we are going to add item 6 and item 7 are going to be added to consent to defer for one meeting. And I'm going to go ahead and read off what else is on consent. But if you've got calendars, they should be marked. So item 2 is on consent. Item 3 is on consent. Item 4 is on consent. I'm sorry? Yes. Well, I'm going to go back through and read them all. I'm just giving you, so if you need to bump anything. So it's item 4. Item 6 and 7, as I just said, are on consent to defer one meeting. Item 8 is on consent. Item 9 is on consent. And item 10 is on consent. Does anything need to be bumped from consent or changed from the consent action? All right, hearing none and seeing none, I'm going to get to reading. Item number 2 is RS 2021-1032 by Van Reese. It accepts additional permanent and temporary easements for the Joyce Lane Stormwater Improvement Project for 12 properties located along Graymar Drive, Joyce Lane, Lamont Drive, and Sanders Avenue. That's on consent to be approved. Item number 3 is RS 2021-1033 by myself, and it abandons water mains, fire hydrant assemblies, and easements to add phasing, to modify the acceptance of a new public sanitary sewer and water main, sanitary sewer manholes, fire hydrant assemblies, and easements, and update map and parcel information for properties now located at 1320 Adams Street, now known as the Newhoff Development Phase 1. And this, Councilman O'Connell has signed on to that bill. That's on consent to be approved. Item number 4 is RS 2021 by Syracuse, and it modifies the abandonment and easement of public water mains and easements for properties located at 1634 and 1636 Lebanon Pike, known as apartment concepts. That takes us down to item 6 and 7, which are on consent to be deferred one meeting, while the rest are consent to be approved. So BL 2021-654 by Rosenberg. And at some point, I will be able to repeat this by memory, and it changes from RM2 to RS40, property located at 6000 River Valley Drive at the southeast corner of River Valley Drive and Newsom Station Road, and located within a planned unit development overlay, 58.48 acres, all of which is described therein. Also, BL 2021-655 by Rosenberg, canceling a portion of the River Walk Planned Unit Development District located at 6000 River Valley Drive at the southeast corner of River Valley Drive and Newsom Station Road, 58.48 acres, approved for 61 multifamily dwelling units, all of which is described therein. Taking us to item number 8, which is BL 2021-783 by myself and others. It amends section 13.26.020 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws to require a report from the Metropolitan Historic Commission when a public building named after a person is renamed, demolished, or sold. Item number 9 is BL 2021-784 by Rosenberg, and it renames Tulip Tree Court as Tulip Tree Court. And renaming Tulip Tree Lane as Tulip Tree Lane. Oh, am I supposed to say there's a space? Okay. I'm so sorry. South of Poplar Creek Trace. I'm sorry, we have a 5 Tuesday month and I just lose all of this. All right, we are at also item 10, which is BL 2021-768. By Evans, it accepts new sanitary sewer mains and water mains, sanitary sewer manholes, fire hydrant assemblies, and easements for properties located at 4225 Central Pike, known as New Hope Village. All right, any issues with anything there? With that, all those in favor of our consent agenda, vote aye. Any against? Any abstentions? With that, our consent agenda has passed. Taking us back to item number 1, which is RS 2021-1020 by Councilman Taylor and others. It accepts a grant from the Metro Historic Commission Foundation to the Metro Historic Commission to access the historic concrete structures in Centennial Park. I don't think this was on the draft agenda, otherwise I would have put this on consent. But I'll make a motion. Vice Chair Withers seconds. Council Lady Stiles, would you like to speak? No, you don't? Okay. All right. With that, all those in favor, I'm sorry. Do you want me to read the caption again? It accepts a grant from the Metro Historic Commission Foundation to the Metro Historic Commission to access the historic concrete structures in Centennial Park. Same page? All right. All those in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? All right, so that takes us to bills on second reading. Item number 5 is BL 2019-7 by Councilman O'Connell. And it amends section 6.28.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws regarding the existence of a short-term rental property owner occupied in a 2-family zoning district. I will make the motion. Councilman Withers seconds. And Councilman O'Connell, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm interested in some committee discussion on this. I know at Councilmember Allen's recommendation when I first brought this, the suggestion was let's get some months of data here. Last term when we were working on this issue, there was sort of a last-minute adjustment to the residential portion of how we allow for even owner-occupied permits that basically said you had to own both halves of a duplex in order to get a permit. And so on the one hand, I've got constituents who are eager to take advantage of this, and they look around and see their neighbors often getting permits, and they can't because they live in one half of a duplex that they own. On the other hand, I'm still getting plenty of complaints from other neighbors who are saying that people are taking advantage of the owner-occupied permit process, and that chasing down people who are effectively lying about whether or not they are using the property as their permanent residence has been very difficult for the codes department. And generally, people want neighbors in their neighborhood. So I'm interested in discussion on this. I do have some constituents I know would take advantage of this if we approved it, but I also know I've got some constituents who are concerned about any more availability of short-term rental permits.
All right, and I'm going to actually withdraw, ask Councilman Withers to withdraw his second, and I'm going to withdraw my motion because of the, this is being put back on the agenda. It has an automatic bump for 30 days, one meeting, sorry. Yeah. So my motion will be to defer this one meeting, if that's all right, Councilman. With that, we'll go to Council Lady Allen, and then we'll go to Councilman Parker.
So we can still have discussion?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sure.
I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you've approached this with and allowing us to have a lot of time to think about it. The three concerns that I had been aware of along the way, one, as you mentioned, is just the difficulty of truly being sure that an owner actually resides on the site as their primary residence. I think that's something we needed to focus some attention on. And then secondly, one of the reasons in the early days of this that we said that we decided having the ability to have a permit on both sides could be problematic was the possibility of having 24 guests on the same weekend on the same lot, which is a terrifying thought. And then thirdly, allowing someone who owns one side to have a permit when they don't own the other side can put you in the situation of the person who lives, on the other side of your wall, having no say in what's going on. And I can just remember some really tough situations that we heard a lot about of the person who lived in the other side of the duplex being very frustrated that there was a party going on next door every single weekend. So to me, the two-family structure is a unique situation that I think we do really need to be very thoughtful about. So I appreciate the continued extra time to talk about that.
All right, thank you, Council Lady Allen. Councilman Parker.
Thank you, Chair. Most of my thoughts have already been echoed on the floor, but I'll save any further discussion for when this comes back at the next meeting, I presume. Thank you.
Are you okay with that, Councilman O'Connell, or would you like his thoughts? Should we mandate that he give his thoughts now?
No, I'm satisfied for Councilmember Parker to delay sharing his thoughts. I just want to make sure this is, with that deferral, that is coming back to this committee, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
for clarification, this is a deferral and referral back to us.
Excellent. Thank you.
So Councilman Parker, if you're all right, we will go to Councilman Withers. Your mic is on.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and certainly Councilmember O'Connell and I, both of our districts have usually been at the top of the list for the number of STRs, and certainly that was the case in East Nashville last term. We heard a lot about it. One of the things for me, I agree with Councilmember O'Connell that I do have folks who sort of feel like there maybe is a fairness issue with having whoever gets there first gets a permit and then they're ineligible for that same right. I do feel like the the host compliance system has done a really good job of at least ensuring that people do have permits, and that was not the case when we started this legislative debate 4 years ago. So I think that has helped. We do certainly have some owner occupancy fraud, I guess I would say. I mean, that definitely is a problem, but that isn't a problem that is necessarily going away or that is necessarily exacerbated by the question of whether or not you can have an STR permit on both sides of a duplex. So I think for me, the main thing that I still have a little bit of concern about potentially is what Councilmember Allen raised, which is what would happen if you had 24 guests staying at one of the rather large duplexes we get today. That kind of number count is potentially bad. But I have no objection to bringing back eligibility for STRs in both sides of duplexes now that we have a much better at least surveillance system for permitting than we did 4 years ago. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Withers. Is there anyone else? All right, hearing none, seeing none. The motion is to simply defer. It will come back to us. All those in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? With that, that concludes our meeting, but I will remind you that we've got a lot on public hearing tonight, so that means our next meeting will be pretty long. So if you are deferring anything or have something else that needs to be reflected in our next consent agenda, so on and so forth, please make sure to tell staff so we can have the agenda reflect that prior to getting in here. Thank y'all. We are adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.